Good evening, everyone. Once again, let's get started. Today, we are looking at the CAT paper of 2018, the DILR section, the slot 2 paper, and we'll be focusing like the last time on third. We had the first session when we looked at the slot 1 paper and we looked at the DILR and decided to identify, and the focus there was as to how to identify the sets, which are the sets which should be attempted and not attempted, and how do we go about identifying which ones to do and not to do. Okay, and the agenda for today is exactly the same. Last time we did the first slot, today we are doing the second slot. And just to rewind and confirm once again, the way I would look at it is go through all the sets and identify my priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3 sets. These are the ones are what I call the easy ones. These are what I would definitely want to do. These are the ones which are the moderate ones or the medium level of difficulty. Okay. These are the ones which I will look at doing after I've done the priority one. And these are the difficult ones. And I would always want to attempt the easy ones first, then go to the moderate, and then if I have time, go to the difficult ones. Why? Because easy ones, you'll be able to do it fast. They'll take less amount of time and you'll definitely have a higher level of accuracy. While the difficult ones or the moderate ones will have a greater amount of time requirement and lesser amount of accuracy. So it is always advantageous to do the easy stuff first and then go for the difficult ones, because unlike your school and college exam, this paper does not give you sufficient time to complete the paper. Okay. So with this background, let's get started with the paper. Okay, set number 1. Let's look at what does it say. It says fun sports provide training in 3 sports: gilli danda, kho-kho, and ludo. Currently, it has an enrollment of 39 students, each of whom is enrolled in at least one of the 3 sports. So each of the 39 students is part of one of the 3 games. I'm sure at this stage itself, you can say this is likely to be a data set of Venn diagram where you have 3 games: gilli danda, kho-kho, and ludo. Okay, and there are a total of 39 students out here. Okay, and each of these students is definitely a part of one of the 3 games. Okay? Now, when I look at these statements, something which is interesting out here, I have one number, but all the other statements, the numbers are missing. You can go through the statements also if you want. What you realize is that you will only have equations. For example, number of students enrolled only in L will double the number of students in all 3. So if this is X, this is 2X. Similarly, okay, there are a total of 17 students enrolled in G. So this is 17 and so on and so forth. The critical thing to understand here is, in a Venn diagram data set, if numbers are given, then you can plug in those numbers in the Venn diagram and get to the answers faster. But if numbers are not given, what does that mean? You'll have to form equations. And if you have to form equations, the questions are likely to be of range, maxima, minima kind of questions. And that itself makes it difficult. If numbers are given, it becomes easy. If numbers are not given, it makes your life a little more difficult. And if you just glance through the statements, only one number you can pick up. So apart from 39, you have one more number available. Now this clearly tells you that this is going to be not a priority 1, but this is a priority 2 data set. Okay, this is doable most of the time. Yes, Venn diagrams are not very difficult, can be done. But is it very easy? No. If out of these 6 statements, I could have seen 3 to 4 numbers, I would have possibly said, possibly I can look at upon this as a priority 1 data set. Okay. So that's the first thing that we need to look at. Now let's look at the questions. What do the questions say? Question number 1, what is the minimum number of students enrolled in both GLN but not K? Very clearly, what is it telling you? Range. And this is confirming that the equations are there. We'll have questions pertaining to maxima, minima, range, and which could be means solving equations. So this is possibly doable, but it will take time. Question number 2. If the number of students enrolled in K and L are in the ratio of 19:22, what is the number of students enrolled in L? Now, if K/L is 19:22, that means L, the number of students enrolled in L, should be some multiple of 22. This is the answer. There's only one multiple of 22. That is to be the answer. Question number 3. Due to academic pressure, students who were enrolled in all 3 sports were asked to withdraw from one of the 3 sports. Now, what does that mean? it means whatever work you have done in question 1 will no longer be valid. And you'll have to rework the entire thing because the new condition has been included. Okay. And similarly to the last question. Okay, same thing out here. Now, what does this tell me? I'm not interested in this set. Initially, I said this looks like a priority 2 set. Now I will say it is end of priority 2 or priority 3. Why? Because as I said, first of all, I need to make equation. Secondly, whatever I do in this question will not be useful for these two questions again. I'll have to rework the entire thing. So the amount of work which I need to do in this particular data set is going to be high. And thirdly, I've already got one answer in place. So why should I worry too much about it? As far as I'm concerned, optimistically, I'll say end of priority 2 or beginning of priority 3 is what I would look upon this list. There's definitely not a priority 1 set for me. Okay. Next one, set number 2. Okay. 7 candidates, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, were invited to an interview for the position. The candidates were required to reach the venue before 8 a.m. Immediately upon arrival, they were sent to one of the 3 interview rooms. Okay, so 7 people going to 3 different interview rooms. The following venue log shows the arrival times of these candidates. So 1, 2, 3. For 3 of them, we know the arrival time. The remaining 1, 2, 3, 4 is missing. Some of the names have not been recorded in the log and have been marked as question mark. Then we have statements, short statements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, why I like short statements. What is the advantage of short statements? It means there will be a direct information which can be directly used. Okay, and there will be no confusion. Okay, so how many statements? 5. And typically, I found 5 statements are good to solve a data set, 5 to 8 statements. Now, what is good about this data set? Very small amount of data. And without even worrying about anything else, what do we need to find out? We need to find out the time, who came at what time. Okay, who came at what time. And second thing, we need to find out which room number they went to, because there are 3 room numbers, 1, 2, 3. So the size of table is small. So size of table is small. Size of table is in my favor. The data is not big. Okay. And statements are sufficient, so it should be doable. At this point of time, I'll say set number 2 is preferable to set number 1. And this appears to be priority 1 kind of a data set, but I'll look at the question and then confirm whether I will do it in priority 1 or later. Now, question number 1. What can be said about this? What is this telling me? This is telling me it is possible there will be multiple cases. Okay, it is possible. There's a choice 4 is essentially telling me. But when I look at the other question number 2, it's a definite answer. Who else was in the room 102 when Ganeshan entered? Okay. Now there's also telling me something. Ganeshan should be from room 102. So there's additional data. What time did Irina reach the venue? So there's a definite answer. If Ganeshan entered the venue before Divya. Now this is a question which is again confirming this, that there will be multiple cases of Ganeshan. Exact time we will not be aware. Okay. But as far as Ganeshan is concerned, the room number has been clearly told to me in question number 2 itself. So when I'm looking at this data set, I'm still in favor of it. At this point of time, I think it is doable. So I'm putting this set as a priority 1 set, priority 2 and priority 3. As far as, this set number 2. As far as set number 1 is concerned, I think I'll put it at the end of set number, at the end of priority 2. Okay. So this is my sequence at this point of time. But the important thing I want you to again understand is question number 2 is telling me that Ganeshan went to room number 2. Who else was in room number 2 when 102 when Ganeshan entered? I don't know if the data tells me that clearly. Okay, no, it is clearly given out here also. So that doesn't matter, but we should be able to pick out. But at the end of the day, priority 1, set 2, priority 2 is set 1, and that is virtually at the end because it is a set in which possibly need to do a lot of work. Okay. Third set. Okay. Answer on the basis of the information given below. Now, before we even go through this particular information given out here, Let's look at the table. So some overall score range is given. Score ranges are given and different levels of accreditation is given. Then we have FPRI, I don't know what these are, and some institutes and some letters given. So some kind of table is given, but at this point of time, I don't know what this means, but this is something understandable. Some kind of accreditation is happening, and based on the overall scores, institutes are given this kind of accreditation. Possibly it is some summation of this or some composite score. Okay, so let's look at the data now. An agency is entrusted to accredit colleges looking for 4 parameters: faculty quality, reputation, placement quality, and infrastructure. The 4 parameters are used to arrive at an overall score. Now I understand this. 4 parameters, these grades are likely to be attached to some points. Yes, it is given out here. And there will be some weightage. So based on the weightage, you will have to find the composite score based on which you will have to find this accreditation. Okay. Now, okay, so the weightage is also there. Okay. 8 colleges apply for accreditation and receive the following grades in the 4 parameters. And then we have very limited information. Now, what does this mean? This is a data set where I will need to do lot of calculation. Okay. Lots of calculation. Why? Look at this first of all. Overall score of the college is weighted sum of points. The weight of the parameters are 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, 40% in some order, but no order is not disclosed. So first I need to find which of these 4 is 10% weightage, which is 20%, 30%, and 40% weightage. And that is not given out here. Using these statements, I'll have to identify the weightage for each of them and then calculate the composite score and then be able to say what is the accreditation of each of the institute. So what is this? This is lots of calculation. The calculation load is going to be fairly high as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And the information is very limited. Only 3 statements. That is what is good is that means I have to work only with this butter. And this is starting point. But at the end of the day, it is going to be more of calculation, and which is something which can be a challenge. So at this point of time, I am not very, very keen on the set as such. At this point of time, I will again say this either a priority 2 or a priority 3 set, most likely closer to priority 3. Okay. Now look at the questions. What is the weight? So first question is faculty quality. What is the weight of the? How many colleges receive accreditation AAA? What does that mean? Once I find the weightages, I'll need to find the composite score for each of them. Only then I will be able to answer the question AAA. Okay, AAA is more than 45. That's okay, but I'll, if not all 1, 2, 3, 4, or not, if not all 8, at least 4, 5, I'll need to check to be able to be sure. Okay, so lots of calculation. Highest overall score among the 8 colleges, I have to get the composite score for all. How many colleges have overall score between 31 and 40? So this is a data set which is doable, but this is high on calculation. Now I have an issue. While I'm very clear, priority 1, set number 2 is not an issue. Priority 2 and priority 3. Now I have to take a call whether set 1 versus set number 3. Which one I would prefer doing? I'll most probably go for set number 3. So for me now it becomes set number 3 is something, and this is what it is. Okay. So initially I had said that set number 1 end of priority 2, but I'm now shifting it to set priority 3 at this point of time. Set number 3 followed by set number 1 in priority 3. Okay. And the reason why I'm putting set number 3 over set number 1 is the amount of calculation is high, but the amount of work which I need to do in set number 1 is also very high. And calculation is easy to handle. If I am not able to get the logic there, if I make a small mistake, because that is multiple equations that I have to deal with, I am going to end up with a problem. Secondly, only 3 statements I know. If I compare the data, I will be able to get some amount of parameters. Okay. Once I get the parameters, then it is simple calculations. So between set number 1 and set number 3, I am more inclined towards set number 3. Also remember, set number 1, 3 number to le liye na maine already. I've already got 3 marks by answering one question. So I'm not really worried about set number 1 per se. Okay. Okay, so this is my order of priority at this point of time. Set number 4. Answer the question on the basis of the information given below. According to a coding scheme, the statement peacock is designated as the national bird of India. This is the statement is coded as this. Okay. So obviously, what does this mean? We'll need to find out the code for each of the alphabets or each of the number. What does it say? It's a strange combination, but there are rules given. The coding scheme has following rules. The scheme is case insensitive, does not distinguish between upper and lower case. Each letter has a unique code, which is a single date from 1 to 9. What this also means, each letter can have multiple codes. Each letter is each number can have multiple codes. Each letter has a unique code. For example, A, there's a unique code. Let's say it is 7. But 7 could mean other numbers also, because there are other alphabets also, because there are multiple, because there are only 9 alphabets, but 9 numbers, while there are 26 alphabets. Okay. The digit 9 codes 2 letters, every other digit codes 3 letters. Okay, so every number is except for 9 is 3 letters, and 9 represents any 2 letters. The code for a word is constructed by arranging the digits corresponding to its letters in a non-decreasing sequence. That means increasing sequence. So what do we need to do? We need to write it like this and compare. For example, now I'll have to say between these two. Between IS35, AS56. What is common to both of them? 5. Okay. So that means S is equal to 5. So what do I need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can straight away say S is going to be equal to 5. So 5 is S. And so if 5 is S, A will be 6 out here. And similarly, I will be 3. So this is the way I'll have to go through it. So this is step by step working. It can take a little bit of time, but it is still doable. So this is 3 is I. Okay. So this is a doable set. I know exactly what is to be done. It will take a little bit of time, but it is something which I know I can do exactly without too much of a problem, but it will take time. So what should I do now? What is my priority? Now my priority again becomes, this is a set I want to do. So priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. Set number 2 is what I had put in priority 1. Okay. And set number 3 and set number 1 in priority 3. This is a set, again, I'll put it in priority 1 only, set number 4. There's a set which I know exactly what is to be done. I don't have to think. I know that I understand the process and I should be able to do it fast. Okay. So this is a set which I'm very, very happy attempting. And this is a set which is a part of my priority 1 at this point of time. Okay. Just to confirm, we'll look at the questions. What best can be concluded about the code for letter L? That means we may not be able to identify it completely. What best can be concluded about code for letter B? Similarly, how many dates can the complete list be identified? Okay, so there will be, you'll not be able to get it for every alphabet, it seems, which is fine. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I stick to my original plan, which means priority 1, start with set number 2, then go to set number 4. Priority 2 at this point of time, I don't have anything. Priority 3, it is set number 3 followed by set number 1. Remember, I've already got 3 marks out of set number 1 based on that question of case to L. Okay. Set number 5. There are only 4 brands of entry-level smartphones called A, B, C, D in the country. Details about their market share, unit selling price, and profitability, defined as profit as a percentage of revenue for the year 2016 given in the table. Okay. Now, this seems to be a very easy data to understand. ABCD market share 40, 25, 30, 65, 80. So this is 100%. That means these are the only 4 brands. We have the unit selling price and the profitability. Okay. So data is easy to understand. This is for 2016. In 2017, sales volume of entry-level smartphones grew by 40%. So if I'm looking at 2017, and if I have to do a similar table, that if in 2016 100 units were sold, in 2017 140 units will be sold. As compared to C offered a discount of 40% of the unit selling price. So I'll need to create a similar table for 2017 also, it seems. So we have the selling price, which resulted in the 15% increase in market share. Each of the other 3 brands lost 5% market share. However, profitability of so each of the other 3 brands C increase the profit share by 15%, becomes 30%. Each of the others becomes loses 5%, so 35%, 20%, and 15%. Yeah. The unit selling price of the other three brands and the profitability remain the same. Okay. Now, what had C done? C had reduced the market had resulted. C offered 40% discount on unit selling price. C was 30,000. 40% discount means it will become 18,000. Others maintain their price. And so, and market and profitability remain the same. However, profitability of C came down to half. So profitability of C earlier was 40%, now it is 20%. For the others, it remained the same. So 10, 30, and 30%. So there's a kind of data in front of me. Easy to handle. Now let me look at what the questions are going to be. The brand had highest revenue in 2016, highest profit in 2016, highest profit in 17. This is the easiest possible set. It is unlikely that we'll get an easier set than this. This is my priority one. In fact, this is a paper which I had in CAT and I solved it there and then. So in fact, what I did in the paper was, without worrying about anything else, I said, let me solve this set now itself. But then the good thing is, 2 questions pertaining to 2016 table is already given to me. So instead of market share, I'll say 100 units. And this is the case. Similarly, for the next year, 2017, I can find out. So 30% of 140 is 42, 20% of 140 is 28, 15% will be 14 plus 7, 21, 35% will be 42 plus 7, 49. So many units sold. So I have a similar data out here, easily solvable. At this point of time, I'll say this is the priority one set for me. I will straight away say this is set number 5. First do set number 5 immediately, priority 2, and then we have priority 3. First do set number 5, then worry about anything else. After that, go to set number 2, then set number 4, and set number 3 and set number 1 are still at my priority 3 level. Okay. So this is my sequence. Actually, in CAT, the moment I came to the set, when I looked at the data, I immediately solved it and did not wait for completing the analysis at all. Okay. So this is my order of priority. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yeah. Next question. Each visit to an amusement park needs to buy a ticket. Tickets can be platinum, gold, or economy. Visitors are classified as old, middle-aged, or young. So there's the kind of table we'll need to make in this particular table. The following facts are known about visitors and ticket sales on a particular day. Okay. Now, if you look at statements, 140 tickets were sold. So total 140 tickets are sold. Number of middle-aged visitors was twice the number of old-age visitors, while the number of young visitors was twice the number of middle-aged. Again, what is it giving me? Ratio. Go back to set number 1, wo Venn diagram wala jo tha. Numbers are very few. Look at the only 2 numbers given out here apart from this 140. 3 numbers given. How many cells? 1, 2, 3. 3 into 3 out of 9 cells. I have got only 2 numbers given. This is an equation. The number of gold tickets bought by all visitors was equal to number of. So we have equations only. 2 statements are given equation. 1 this number and 1 overall number is given. Okay. So what does it mean? It is going to be a little bit of time consuming. It's not a direct data set. It is not I can straight away plug in the numbers from this data and fill it up completely. So out of 9 cells, I have data of only 2 cells, 38 and 55. Every other cell I need to solve. That means I will have to make cases. And the questions are likely to be situation oriented, which means each question could be different or independent of the others. And question that will give me a situation or a case and then expect me to solve it. Okay. Let's confirm it. Question 1. If number of all visitors buying platinum ticket was equal to, so a special case has been given. Question number 2. If number of all visitors buying platinum tickets was equal to number of middle age, again same special case given. Each question is different. I am not able to go use it. This is my priority 2 data set. It is doable, but every question will have to be solved independently. So this is going to be time consuming. And the data is not sufficient, or rather data is less, and more importantly, only 2 numbers given apart from the overall number. Young visitors bought 38 of the 55 economy tickets. Young visitors bought 38 of the 55 economy tickets that was sold. Okay. And they bought half the total number of platinum tickets they were sold. Half the total number of platinum tickets they were sold. If this is 2x, this is going to be x. Okay. So if you look at hardly any data, every case will be different. Depending on the situation, I would have to rework the entire thing, which is why this is a priority 2 item. In priority 1, I want to have something which without thinking I can solve. And this was one of those sets. Set number 2, set number 5 is this particular set. Without thinking, you can solve. Set number 2, set number 4, that the peacock is the national bird of India, that coding, decoding. Again, you have to follow the process. It will take a bit of time, but you don't have to think as to how to solve. Same thing by and large with set number 2, that you can solve it reasonably fast. And so as far as I'm concerned, set number 6 is not a set I'm keen to do it now. To me, it is a priority 2 set. So what is the sequence for us now? Priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. This is set number 6, priority 2. Set number, what was it? 5, 2, 4. Set number 5, set number 2, and set number 4. This is the sequence in which I would want to attempt. And as far as the priority 3 is concerned, it is set number 3 followed by set number 1. This is my sequence so far. There are still 2 sets to be looked at. Okay. Okay. Set number 7. Answer the question based on the information given below. The base exchange rate of currency X with respect to currency Y is the number of units of currency Y which is equivalent to 1 unit of currency X. Currency exchange outlets buy currency at buying exchange rates and that are lower than the base exchange rate, and sell currencies at selling exchange rate that is higher than the base exchange. What is this telling you? I will have lots of calculations. This is a calculation-oriented data set. It will say there are some currencies you bought it is and the comparison of currencies could happen. But end of the day, this is going to be a calculation-oriented data set in which you'll have to keep converting currency from one to another currency. Okay. A currency exchange outlet uses a local currency L to buy and sell 3 international currencies A, B, C, but does not exchange the international currency directly with other. Okay. The base exchange rates of A, B, C with respect to L are in the ratio of 100:120:1. The buying exchange rate of A, B, and C with respect to L are 5% below corresponding base exchange rates, and their selling exchange rates are 10% above. Okay. Lots of calculation. I am not liking this set at all, for the simple reason the amount of calculation and the comparison between different currencies is going to be high. And look at this. The base exchange rates of ABC with respect to are in the ratio of this. It is not giving us a value. It is again giving us a ratio. So I'll have to work my way through it. Okay. So I will have to say this is 100x, this is 120x, and this is x. Okay. Then we have a buying price and selling price plus 10% and minus 5%. Okay. Then the following facts are known on a particular day. Amount of L used by the outlet to buy C equal the amount of L received in selling C. Pause, leave. Too much of calculation. Okay, lots of data are given out here, lots of numbers, but we'll end up wasting a lot of time doing calculation, converting local currency into another currency, because ultimately ABC cannot be exchanged directly. If I have the A and I want to have B, I'll have to convert A to L and L to B. So this is going to be a huge amount of calculation, and this is a set I'm not at all interested in. So what was my original sequence? This was my original sequence, and why do I put set number 7 now? Set number 7 comes here. Not interested in set number 7 also. So priority 1 is 524. So now I will say, okay, you can look at the questions also. Okay, look at the questions also. While they are definite answers, but the amount of calculation is something which I am not at all happy with. So as far as I am concerned, again, just to repeat, priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3. Set number 7 is the lowest priority item for me. Set number 3 and set number 1 are there. Priority 1 was set number 5. Followed by 2, 4, if I remember correctly, 2, 4, and 6. Okay. Set number 2, set number 4, and set number 6 comes out here. Okay. Now set number 8. Okay. Answer each of the 23 boxes in the picture below So each of the 23 boxes in the picture below represent a product manufactured by one of the following three companies: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. The area of the box is proportional to the revenue from the corresponding products. Okay. So what is the area of this particular? It is proportional to the area. So I can say it is, what will be the 1, 2, 3, 3 by 3. So the area is 9 units. Similarly, what about this? The area for this is going to be 4 units. Area for this is 1 unit. So I can say this is 9x, this is 4x, this is x. Okay. So the revenue comparison can be done, though I will not be able to get the exact value, but I can say which is higher revenue, which is lower revenue. Okay. The area of the box is proportional to the corresponding, while its center represents the product popularity and market potential scores of the product out of 20. The shading in some of the boxes have got erased. So Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, we know. The one where the shading has been erased, we don't know which they belong to. So what does this mean? Obviously, we need to find out which of these boxes belongs to which company. Okay. And then there is a product popularity and market potential matrix. So product popularity is given out here. Market potential is given out here. And what does it say? It says the product popularity, market potential scores are from the center of that particular box. So if I look at this particular, let's look at this one. Center of the box is this 2, 6. That means market potential is 2 and product popularity is 6. So I understand the graph, but this is also something which I need to be clear about, that I cannot copy this graph. Copying this graph is not going to happen. That means I'll have to work on the screen itself, which can be a little bit of an issue as such. Okay. Now, what else do we have? It says continued. So what else do we have? Okay. The companies classified their products into 4 categories based on combination of scores out of 20 on 2 parameters: product quality and market potential. Okay. Oh, there's some. Okay. So this was less than. This is less than. This is less than. This is less than. Okay. Okay. So it says this, and then there are following statements given. So that means we will have to find out which of these boxes belong to which company: Alpha, Beta, Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie. Now, what are the things? Promising is both items are greater than 10. Blockbuster. So 10 is the critical number. So if I look at this graph, 10 is the critical number. So market potential 10, less than 10 or more than 10. And the other one is this one. Okay. Now these are the 4 categories. Now what is it? Sorry. Okay. Promising is both greater than 10. So this is the promising box. Okay. This is promising. Blockbuster is product popularity greater than 10. The other one less than 10. This is Blockbuster. Product popularity greater than 10. And the other one is less than 10. Yes, market potential less than 10. So this is Blockbuster. Third one is doubtful. Product popularity less than 10. Product popularity less than 10 means coming here. Okay, on the left hand side. And market potential greater than 10. Market potential greater. So this is doubtful. This particular quadrant is doubtful. And the fourth one will be no hope. So this is a no hope. So these are 4 boxes that we have. So if I'm going to copy it also, I'm going to make a table like this. And I'll say, I'll say, for example, this is a Khali Dabba. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has an area of 4. Okay. What is this? This is 3 by 3, 9. This is another Dabba of 9. There's another Dabba 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another Dabba of 6. But if I have to copy this one, which company? Alpha. So I know this is Alpha, so I'll write it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say A4. A stands for Alpha. So that when I'm copying this table on my rough sheet, this is the way I'm going to tabulate it. But this tells me lots of work to be done. Okay. And the bigger problem is that I have to do lots of calculation. I have to look at each of them, and if I miss out on even a single box, I am going to end up in a problem. So this is a data set which will be time consuming, and hence it is a priority 2, not a priority 1 set at all. Now let's look at these statements. These are 6, 7, 8 statements, lots of statements. That means again I'll have to do lots of work. Let's go to the questions. Considering all companies' products, which product category has the highest revenue? This I can do straight away. There are only 4 categories. Now, please look at this. I can safely say this cannot be the answer. Promising cannot be the answer for question 1. Which product category has the highest revenue? What will be the revenue? Revenue will be the sum of areas. So this is 4, this is 2, this is 9, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 6, 15, 17, 18. 9, 6, 15, 15 to 17. It has an area it has a revenue of 17. Similarly, if I look at the others, I can safely say the answer will be either blockbuster or doubtful. Most probably blockbuster. So all I need to do is find the area of all of them without worrying about which company. So this is a question that I will want to attempt. Similarly, which of the following is the correct sequence of numbers of products Bravo had? So we are talking about the company called Bravo had in No Hope, Doubtful, Promising, and Blockbuster. Now there's something interesting. Look at this. This is very clear. So as far as company Bravo is concerned, No Hope, Doubtful, Promising, and Blockbuster. This company definitely has 3 and 1 out here. This company definitely has 3 in doubtful category and 1 in promising category. So this is a question I can also look at. Okay. And the other questions, I will need to work my way through. Third question, the smallest box in the grid is equivalent. So if I'm able to get this question right, then probably I will be able to get this also. So question number 4 will be a function. So this is a set which looks difficult, but it is not very difficult. Based on what we have seen, question 1 can be solved. Question number 2, I already know this is 3 plus 1. So all I need to find out whether this is 1, 2 or 3. And similarly, whether blockbuster is either 2 or 3. So now I can play around with it. But this is still going to be time consuming. So where does it land me? This means this is still a priority 2 item for me. This is not a priority 1 item. This is a priority 2 item. And when I come to the set, I will definitely want to do question 1 first. This question is almost like that case 12, 11, 19 is to 22 wala. What is the answer going to be? Most probably to me the answer will be blockbuster. Look at the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them reasonably big size. What about doubtful? 1, 2, 3, 4 big size, but the 3 of them are very small. So I will go a step ahead and say, isko to tum mark kar do answer. Maximum revenues for blockbusters only. Yahi hoga answer. Okay. Okay. So for me, set number 8 is something that I want to look at. Question 1 ho gaya hai. Question number 2, most probably now using these statements, I'll have to solve, but I have a starting point where I can say, as far as company Bravo is concerned, I am not worried about others. This question is about Bravo. Question number 4 is also about Bravo. So I want to look at only Bravo. I'll not worry about Alpha and Charlie at all. I can forget about this question because it includes Charlie also and Alpha also. So in the best case, I will look at doing 3 questions. 1 I've already done. Maybe I'll be able to do question number 2 and 4 also. So set number 8 becomes a question that I will want to attempt. So what is my order of priority now? Priority 1 is 5 to 4. Priority 2 is set number 6 followed by set number 8. And set number 8, please understand I've already solved 1 question. And priority 3, set 3, 1 and 7. Okay. So this is a sequence which should be adopted to my mind as far as this particular set is concerned. Okay. Now the critical thing being that set number 1 was such an easy set, you should be able to solve it straight away. As far as set number 8 is concerned, we have already got 1 question correct. Similarly, as far as set number 3 is concerned, we have already got 1 question correct. Here the answer I have taken is blockbuster by looking at the figure. Here it is case 12 is 11, 7, that 22. Case 12 is 19 is to 22 wala question. So even before I start, I have done 2 questions. And set number 5 was such an easy set while analyzing the paper. I stopped for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And in about 5, 6 minutes, I was able to solve the set. So this was a set. This was a paper. This was my paper. This set took me about 5 minutes to solve. Analyzing the paper took me about another. It typically takes me about 10 to 12 minutes. So So at the end of roughly 15 minutes, I had solved set number 5. I had got another 2 questions. So 4 plus 2, 6 questions. At the end of 15 minutes, I was at 18 marks in this particular paper. Why? Because I will to pick up this one question from here and 1 question from here. Okay. The key was to be able to pick up which are the questions to attempt, and which is why it is important to look at the questions. For example, if I don't look at this particular question and do not go back to the graph, which has the highest revenue is the biggest box. I'm sure you can look at it clearly. This box and this box are almost the same. This box and this box are also almost the same. This and this are almost the same. This will be, let's say, equal to this plus 1. This will be equal to this. This is a very small box. These are 2 extra. Answer has to be blockbuster. So visual inspection gave me the answer, and that is what helped me in this particular paper. After that, now in about 15, worst case 20 minutes, if you have got 18 marks, remember this was a 60-minute paper, 1 hour paper. In the balance 50 minutes, balance 40 minutes, you do 2 more sets. And if you do, let's say, 1 set number 6, if you do in balance 40 minutes, even if you do 1, 2, 3 sets more, you have done your job in the paper. Okay? Because if I remember correctly, this paper 99 percentile was about 44 marks, okay? Which means about 15 questions. So if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4 sets, 4 of these makes it 16 questions, 17 questions, 18 questions. You have done work worth 54 questions. Okay? So this is a sequence that I would suggest that you should be done, and I hope you are doing this for other papers also.